tell me about the restructure of the youth department as we see it now.
Well, it's quite exciting. A lot of things have changed in the last sort of few months. Steve's back on board, which is great to see. Obviously, heart and soul of Mansfield Town, and he's come back to move it and push it on. We've got John Dempster, ex-captain of Mansfield Town, who's going to be heading the coaching staff, along with Scott Rickards, ex-Derby County. We've also got other coaches what are penciled to be coming in as well. So as long as Simon Ward will be working at Mansfield with the younger age groups as well as our development squad.
I'll be overseeing the recruitment process for the football club in youth, right down to the younger age groups, right the way up to the 18s, and be looking after a development group of 20 players that will feed directly into the youth team.
What will that involve then?
Basically, what we're trying to set up is we've got at the moment a site that we run here at the One Call with young 16 to 18-year-old players in that are taking part of a 2-year education course along with football coaching every day. We're going to replicate that and take a team over to Brooksby, where the youth team will be based next year, and run a secondary group. So that's where I'll be coaching on a daily basis.
You've been involved in the youth department here before, so you know a bit about what it takes. What does it take to be successful?
I think people have got to trust you. I think you've got to have good contacts within the game. You've got to be known in the local area, and I think if you get good people involved, that's a basis for success.
Difficult question this perhaps, but can you proportion the percentage rating between perhaps luck and judgment in terms of finding players?
I don't think it's luck. I think there's a lot of judgment. I think the young coaches we're setting on, they can throw the net out there, and they can actually be our scouts at the club. They'll be looking at each individual age group. They'll know all the local players, and hopefully they can pick the best out.
John Dempster, explain your role within this new youth setup.
Well, currently, Steve, obviously I've still got first team duties, but I've kind of had one eye on the youth setup and planning for next season. We're trying to raise standards all around the football club, and the youth setup is one of the areas that the gaffer's highlighted that he wants to improve on and make a little bit more professional.
What exactly is happening?
We're going to be based over at Brooksby College, which is I think it's about 25-30 mile away from the football club. But they've recently had a bid accepted for millions of pounds, and the facilities there and the equipment and the surroundings are second to none. And it's going to give us an opportunity to hopefully produce some good quality young footballers.
Simon, welcome to Mansfield Town Football Club. How did this move come about?
We've been in talks for a while, really. Got some great ideas between the club and myself. I've got great links, great contacts within both professional and grassroots in and around the Mansfield and Nottingham surrounding areas. The club's a sleeping giant. The 0 to 12 month plan is to get the right coaches in place. And when I say right coaches, I mean coaches that have worked at grassroots level, but have a determination to develop players. It's not a win at all costs. We all like winning, but they know how to develop players, good attitudes on the sideline. They manage their parents well, let the kids play with freedom and creativity.
So how will these new age groups be physically formed, literally formed, should I say?
Well, we've near enough got them all in place now. There'll be grassroots teams funding themselves, playing under the Mansfield Town banner, and they'll be all local teams.
When will they start in their own individual leagues, Steve?
Next season. It'll be the first season next season, so obviously we'll have to iron a few things out over the first season, and then that can go on year by year.
So tell us about the new teams that are being formed.
Effectively what it is, it's boys that have may have been let go from professional clubs, or may not have had an opportunity at clubs to carry on through to a scholarship programme. We've put a strategy in place where we can now take those boys on board, further their education and also further their football development, with the hope that we may find 1 or 2 players that potentially could be, what we're looking for to go through to the youth team and further.
What needs to be done now?
We're strongly in the recruiting part of that process. We're heavily recruiting for Brooksby, and we're down to the kind of final positions now for that squad. And we've run numerous trials over the last 2 or 3 months to increase the numbers that we've took on so far for the Mansfield development group. But we're always looking in grassroots football, and we're always looking locally for talent, from anything up to 16 years old.
The setup will be different because the players will be accommodated on site, so they'll actually live at the college, and they'll drink, eat, sleep football, and be educated all in the same place. So it's almost like there used to be a place called Lilleshall where players used to go, and it was a similar setup there. We're trying to put our own stamp on things and use the facilities there to benefit the football club, and like I say, produce good young players.
Will you be facing different opponents?
No, we'll remain in the same league, the regional football league. So we'll play many of the same sides that we've played this season. But like I say, we're hoping just to raise standards all around, improve the coaching that the lads get, and hopefully it will have a knock-on effect.